In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a simple chatbot in Google's PaLM API in AWS SageMaker. For this demo, I'll be using AWS SageMaker Notebook and the operating system will be Amazon Linux 2. You can install it on any Windows or Linux instance even if you're not using AWS SageMaker. Also, if you're not aware of what PaLM API is, it's a simple API interface to Google's own large language models. Okay, so now let's get started. For this demo, you would also need an API key which you can easily get for free with your Google account from developers.generativeai.google, and I will drop the link in video's description. And this is where you get your API key in Google. Now this is my AWS SageMaker notebook instance which is already ready. So the first step which we need to do is to install the Google's generative AI module, and the command is very simple. Let's wait for it to finish. It's fairly quick, by the way. That's almost done. Let's wait for it to finish. This one is finished. In the next step, we are going to import few of the libraries, which is Google's PaLM and also the pretty print, just to make sure that whatever we print is easily visible. And in the third step, I'm going to set my API key, which I showed you earlier. And I'll be rotating this after this video. That's done too. Now let's see how the chat functionality works. So I'm going to ask this PaLM API which I imported. I'm just sending it a message salam, which is sort of a hello in Urdu language. So let's see what PaLM API does. Let's wait for it to come back. That's done. Now let's print the response dot last, which will include the response from this. So you can see that it has very correctly identified that this is a greeting in Arabic. It is also greeting in Urdu, by the way. Okay, and um, it is also giving us more responses. Now let me give it this chat. So I'm continuing this chat. So in order to continue this chat, instead of sending it another chat, I'm just using this response and I'm saying response dot reply. I'm asking it that I'm looking forward to weekend. What about you? Let me run it. Now let's print response dot last. And how cool is that? A very generic answer, but it is talking with us, which is nice. Now let's check another example where I'm going to ask it some of the suggestions. I'm asking it another. I'm opening a new chat. Asking it what should I do on weekend for fun? List a few options, and then I'm limiting the response to four. Let's run it. Let's wait for it to come back. It has returned. Now let's print the last response. And then it has given us some of the examples. Maybe let me mm, try to make it more area specific. I'll ask it that okay, I I am based in Sydney, Australia. Any fun ideas for weekend in Sydney? Let's see what it does this time. And remember that these LLMs are trained on the past data and they're not as futuristic. So this LLM might not be really aware of the time and the date today. Don't expect it to give you the correct answer for this coming long weekend here in Australia. Okay, and let's do the response dot last. Okay, so it has given us a lot of Sydney information, and which seems pretty correct around Opera House, Botanic Garden, NRL, and a lot of other good stuff. Okay, cool. Now let's check another example. So here I'm not only asking it a question, but I'm also providing it a context, because remember that more context and more accurate your prompt would be, LLM would perform the best in that case. In here I'm asking it to speak in Australian slang, and the question I'm asking it, and how is it going? So let me run it and wait for it to finish. And this is Australian slang, fair income, mm, fair income, right? And how it's going with you. So which is fairly accurate. Now let me ask it, speak as a non-native English speaker from Pakistan. Again, the same question. Let's see what it does this time. Okay, so which is pretty standard. Okay, now let me ask it a bit more a different context, I would say. So I'm asking it to speak like Donald Trump. How's it going? I'll just remove this one. What's the future? What the future hold for us? Let's see what it does this time. Let me run it. Okay, so you can see that it has correctly used the slogan Make America Great Again, and then we are going to build a wall, and Mexico is going to pay for it. So this is just a bit zany, I would say. So interesting. Now let's try out another one, which is a bit closer to everyone's home. I'm asking it that be an angry wife who's very upset, and how is it going? Let's see what happens this time. Okay, so you can read the response here, and I will leave you to judge the response if it makes sense or not. But anyway, the point is that this PaLM API works like a charm. It's very easy to chat with these LLMs, very easy to use them, especially with the Google's PaLM API. And then I'm very keen to compare it with Amazon Bedrock as soon as it gets released, which is again a API interface into the model supported by AWS. It should be a good comparison whenever it comes in the public, because it is still in private preview. But heads off to PaLM API, and you can see that you can use it in AWS very easily. If you have any questions or feedback, please put them in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you.